There are really two things that are happening. One is banks are serving crypto customers, and we don't want to get in the way of banks serving perfectly legal customers as long as they understand the risks and that sort of thing. We don't want to single out any particular.
Are you speaking to custody?
Well, custody is more, the second thing is
right.
undertaking activities on their own, right? And in that case, I do think it's appropriate to as usual, as bank supervisors, make sure that we understand and banks understand the risks that are involved in the activity that they're taking inside an insured depository. On the other hand, you don't want to go too far. I think there were a bunch of disasters, as we all remember, and we don't want to, and we were reacting to some extent to those. You don't want to go so far as to overplay your hand on that. So I think we need to be mindful that many of these activities can very well be done inside of banks, and custody may well be one of them. In fact, in Fed-regulated banks, there are lots of crypto activities happening now. They've just happened under a framework where we made sure that the bank understood and we understood exactly what they're doing.
Asking questions of Fed Chair Jay Powell, Carl, very painful. None of them seeming to grasp that we got an inflation report this morning that showed 3% inflation and the biggest monthly increase since August 2023. Don't think they got that memo. A lot of prepared questions about mostly bank regulation. Again, not really on the topic of what investors or people care about this morning. I'm going to run for Congress just so I can ask Chair Powell questions in the House Financial Services Committee because they are so irrelevant. But it gives you a good taste, I think, of where the Republicans and the Democrats are. The Democrats continue to bring up the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and how the Trump administration has reportedly frozen it at the moment. They accuse him of trying to kill it, and whether that would make banks unsafe. Powell's not taking the bait on anything political, whether it's tariffs or Trump administration or DOGE or anything like that.
Sarah, I thought the exact same thing. Why is nobody asking about CPI? And Carl made the right point that, or maybe it was you, that Powell brought it up himself finally by saying, and you saw today's inflation report, and that he said it says the same thing.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back. We are slightly moving up as I'm doing this video. And then we also have stocks pulling back. And we get another hot inflation report. And we got Jerome in the house. And Jerome was in the house yesterday, and those questions were awful, as you could hear. And we're going to get into that later. But then also, he has testimony again today. And again, the questions are awful. This shows you that your politicians are paid and bought for. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then plus, guys, we have plenty of movies going on. They keep you distracted. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. And we saw yield rates jump. And of course, markets are going to pull back. And we know yield rates are going to continue on rising because Jerome clearly says they're not ready to move. And we clearly see it in inflation and the jobs numbers, which we know are manipulated. And then we have the dollar up. We have volume in crypto up. We have Tether, USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $76 billion yesterday. Make sure you're pulling it on a daily basis during the week. And we know that's one way how they manipulate yields. And again, yields are skyrocketing. And we get that CPI number. It comes in sticky. We know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. But we had Jerome Powell in the House yesterday. Did a video yesterday. This showing you these questions are ridiculous. They question him on things that he has nothing to do with. And then when it comes to the tariffs, they're asking the wrong questions. And we know this is all prepared. We get CNBC telling us the truth that it's definitely prepared. But also in these testimonies, we're seeing that real-time payments are being brought up. We're seeing that crypto is being brought up. And Jerome Powell is keeping it real simple, agreeing with everything that it's time for these digital currencies. It's time for real-time payments. And this just lets you know regulation is definitely going to be sped up. And I'm going to bring you another video this evening on Jerome Powell. If you're listening to the testimony, it won't be a lot. This is absolutely ridiculous. But unfortunately, the sheep stay distracted on things that don't matter. They're not going to listen to things like this. And they definitely don't even know who Jerome Powell is, even though Jerome Powell controls their life. Yes, guys, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. You cannot make this stuff up. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, as I'm doing this video, is slightly up, and Ethereum spot ETFs are down. Now, getting over into a little crypto news, we have Uniswap Labs officially launches Layer 2 Unichain. And we're seeing these chains get faster and cheaper. Now we have Ondo Finance partners with Trump's World Liberty Financial to bring tokenized real-world assets on-chain. And then also, World Liberty starts token reserve for crypto investment. And we're seeing they're definitely buying real utility cryptos. And what do I tell you? Follow the money. Now we have Crypto.com secures EEA-wide regulatory approval and expanding crypto services across all member states. And we see Crypto.com is moving along with the digital economy. Nobody has went after Crypto.com for some reason. Now we have Bitpanda expands in the UK with FCA approval. Also, you can't make this stuff up. We have Sam Bankman-Fried. Had he not filed for bankruptcy, he would have been worth $65 billion. And I think Mark Yusko said it best. He called it money laundering. And with the biggest crypto firms being disrupted, that allowed the big banks, big corporations to come in. As we can see, they're now controlling crypto. Remember, guys, this was all part of the big plan. 2008 crisis. Bought in Bitcoin, you get everybody lobbying around Bitcoin, not understanding that Bitcoin and crypto, these digital assets, the big corporations and big banks were behind them from the beginning. The only thing you have to do is look at the funding rounds. And again, what do I teach you? Follow the money. And then lastly, we have Franklin Templeton expands FOBXX money market fund to Solana. And right now, that fund is on Coinbase's Base, Aptos, Avalanche, as well as Sui. And of course, it started on Stellar. And remember the mission. The only thing they're doing is tokenizing these treasuries, helping the Fed get moved over to this new digital economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.